Figuring out what you should be planting in a food plot will depend partly on what part of the country you're in, and then partly on what your goals of that are. So for example, as deer managers, we should do everything we can to provide food as far throughout the year as possible. And by mixing up different food components, we can make sure that we provide food 12 months of the year. Now, where a food plot fits into that for you may be different from your neighbors or others in your area, but start with a goal of providing food throughout the course of the year, and then figure out how you want to break those food plots into making sure that you have spring food, summer food, and then of course, food during the fall when we can hunt over them. So figuring exactly what you want to plant in that, there's really three main components of food plot species. Those being cool season perennials, things like most clovers, alfalfa, chicory. Those are species that do really well in the spring, provide a lot of food, die out or slow down some during the summer when we get all the heat of the summer, but then come back and provide a bunch of food again in the fall. So even though it can provide food for a number of months, it doesn't hit all year with just that species. The second category are warm season annuals. These are things we often think of that farmers plant. Corn, soybeans, sorghum. These are things that don't provide any food in the spring, but then can provide tremendous amount of food during the summer and then into the fall, or at least until those foods are all eaten up. So while they don't give you 12-month coverage either, that can provide a tremendous amount of tonnage during a bunch of months that aren't exactly the same as the cool season perennials. The last category then are cool season annuals. These are things like our cereal grains, oats, wheat, rye, brassicas. With these, very little food in the spring and summer, but a whole bunch in the fall. And these are the things that will actually stay green under snow if you're in the northern environments. So picking exactly what you want, what I encourage people is you should pick some from each of those three different categories. This ensures this coverage throughout as much of the year as possible, and then making sure that you have some stuff during the fall and winter during hunting season that is extremely palatable and attractable to deer.